As well as far as the game, I just thought we played really good basketball as far as defending and rebounding. I have so much respect for Chris and what he does with that team, with Diop and Tate, and how they guard and how tough they are, and you know their foundation. I have so much respect for them, and I was really proud of the way our guys really played intense and came out and played tough, physical Penn State basketball, and to hold them to 21 points and to really do a pretty good job on Diop and Tate. You know, our players really bought into the game plan and executed it really well.
Pat, early in the second half, they were able to make a little bit of a run. You had some turnovers. How important was it to be able to put the hammer down in this sort of game? We've seen some games before where you've let some things slip away, but to finish off strong the way you did, how important was that?
Yeah, it was important to keep our confidence that way. You know, we kept talking about one possession. You know, don't think about the end result. Don't think about when the buzzer's going to go off. Think about the next possession. Take care of the possession that's in front of us. And that's all you can control. Don't worry about the turnover. Get a stop. Get a stop. Get a rebound. And I think they really were in tune and dialed in timeouts, media timeouts, obviously. And they didn't get rattled. They didn't shake. You know, they're a great team. They're top 10 for a reason. So you know they're going to make a run. But we have to respond to those runs.
And how much of that growing process that you've been talking about, learning, was that in terms of the big
Yeah, you know, early in the season we took some hits. You know, we learned from failure. We really did. We learned from those setbacks on how to respond to those situations, how to respond to adversity. And you could see it in our guys' body language, in our faces, and they were just so determined tonight not to let them back in the second half.
Pat, they used multiple defenders on Carr because they really didn't have an answer for him. What was your impression?
Tony played terrific. You know, Hoops, he was just, you know, whoever, didn't matter, 24, Wesson, Tate, Diop for a little bit. They threw a bunch of guys at him. And I thought Tony, he was super efficient tonight. He was really, really efficient. I think his teammates knew he had it going a little bit, but I also think we called some good offenses, some good sets, especially when we got to the one-on-one. We did some good things down the stretch. Tony's a big-time player. The thing that really excites me, it's not his 30 points. I thought his defense was great. I thought his leadership was great. He did all the little things to help us win this game, not just the points.
Pat, how do you keep this positive momentum going?
One day at a time. I don't talk about the end of the year. I don't talk about what-ifs. I talk about 1%, getting better every day, because the marginal gains from that 1%, they're going to add up. I talk about 200 minutes, so the guy that gets 2 minutes will feel like he impacted the game. You know, and those little things have been important. Look, I know there's social media, family, friends, and everybody's excited. Students, they're all going to be hyping this up. But as long as we stick together, stay connected, and stay on the task at hand and not get too far ahead, we'll keep getting better. And that's the goal. I think we can still get better.
Hey, Pat, back over here.
Hey, Dono.
Yeah, how you doing? Congrats.
Thank you.
Hey, talk about Julian Moore and just the effort off the bench, you know, with his defense, he played the blocks, and just how his progression's been this season.
I couldn't be more happier for a kid. His loyalty. He obviously could have left, you know, and he didn't. He stayed. And his game tonight was great. Sometimes Julian jumps, shot fakes. He stayed down every time. So I was really proud of him. And the minutes that he is giving us is the minutes of a senior who knows it's coming down to the end. And he's playing great basketball.
You mentioned Julian, but Nas picked up a lot of minutes tonight, and it was clear that he was sort of in a bigger role tonight than he had been in the past few weeks. He looked like a guy who was trying to figure out a way to help you guys, and it seems like he did. How did you think he did in that spotlight?
Yeah, with Josh being in foul trouble, Josh got, I think, a Charlie horse, and Nas had to play critical minutes. And there, but you got another guy who has a big body, 6'5", you know, great frame. You know, if we had to go on Diop, they have to switch on Tate. You know, we got big guys, and Nas is that type of guy for us. He has been, and I've said this, I'm going to say it again, he has been an all-star in his role. Understanding I have to defend and rebound when there's opportunity on the offensive end, take advantage, but take care of the little things that help my team win, and that's what he's doing.
Coach, you talked about how the bench just really kind of came through tonight. Zemgulis was a guy that really played a big role in the win on the road against them. Can you talk about how we didn't really see him tonight and how we saw a little bit more of Jamari instead?
You know, it really comes down to where we are, and what the game plan is, and how we want to execute it. So it's not like Davis isn't going to play. He did a great job for us on the road when we needed a junior, a veteran guy who knows the rotations. As you get further and further into February, your freshmen become, older, wiser. Your sophomore becomes older, wiser, and they're just playing good basketball. Shep and Julian are playing their best defense I've seen them in their careers.
Pat,
so that's why he didn't get the minutes.
Pat, what can you say about the job Josh did on Bates Diop and frustrating him all night long?
Yeah, his length, his quickness, his speed, I think disrupted him. But it was really a collective effort. We had good ball pressure. We had good weak side help. Everybody really contributed to slowing down Ohio State. I mean, I've seen them score in bunches, and the game is over like that. So for us to really draw that line in the sand and defend and guard those guys is big for our confidence.
Pat, you've always tried to have defense be the identity of this program. How proud are you that through these past 7 games, it seems like that's been kind of the key ingredient, I guess?
Yeah, that needs to be our identity. That needs to be who we are. I've been on a lot of great teams in my tenure as an assistant coach and a head coach, and we always defended and rebounded. We knew the offense would take care of itself because when you get stops, when you get turnovers, good things typically happen. And it's nice to see the buy-in factor. We're not 100% just yet, but man, are we closing in.
Can you maybe contrast it to earlier in the season or past teams that you've had?
You guys have been watching us all season. We're a different team now. These guys have gotten better. They've bought in to get better. They've bought into player development. They've bought into what we're asking them to do as their roles for this team. And I think you're seeing a team start to really mature before your eyes.
Pat, it might be the most athletic team I've seen in Penn State. When you just started putting this team together, how important was it for you to get athletes who could play in this league?
Yeah, Hoops, you're exactly right. When we started trying to go after some guys like Josh Reeves, like a Mike Watkins, like a Lamar Stevens, even Julian is long and athletic, and Nas is athletic, and there's speed out there. And, we know what it is to have speed. Speed kills, and it's good to have it. But it took a lot. There needed to be yeses. There needed to be yeses. I give DJ Newbill a lot of credit for giving us a yes. Brandon Taylor gave us a yes. And they opened the door to the other guys. Shep Garner, now Tony Carr, now Nas, now Lamar, Mike Watkins. Josh Reeves, I thought, that was, everybody wants to talk about Philly recruiting. Josh Reeves was an enormous yes that we got when, we didn't have the best record. But he believed in the vision. He believed in what we were doing. And now it's the pieces, and you've seen, my prior days as an assistant, when the pieces come together, it's fun to watch. It's fun to be a part of.
Pat, we've all seen Tony put up 30 points so far this season, but where would you rank this as far as his best offensive performance? And this is the first time that he scored 30 points and taken less than 20 shots to do so.
Yeah, I thought, again, he was efficient. And when he's efficient and he's playing like that, he's a really good basketball player, and we're a really good team. But I thought his best night was on the defensive end. I thought he did some really good things, being in stances, talking to everybody, letting us know what's going on. He wanted to run certain plays in huddles. I was like, sounds great. Is that what you're seeing out there? Great. That's the emerging leader that I've been looking for.
Pat, what does this win mean to the program? Or is it just Ariel in front? Or is it just kind of another step in the right direction?
Yeah, it's another step in the right direction. We have to continue this process. And, our slogan's climb, right? This climb has not been easy. We've fallen off the cliff, and we've gotten back up. That's the amazing thing that I'm seeing. We've gotten back up and continued to climb. Sometimes we went left, sometimes we went right, but now we're getting further and further up that mountain.
Pat, understanding it's obviously a 40-minute game, but also your brand is defense and rebounding. How close was that first 20 to the Penn State basketball you've envisioned, like the best version of that?
Yeah, there's no doubt.
How close?
Second half, Illinois, and today, when you put this all together 6.5 years ago, You want a team that's really going to guard and play tough and play physical. And that's what the Big Ten is. You know, you look at certain teams and you say, we need to do that, or we need to do that a little bit better, along with the model that I grew up with and that I coached under. So you put that all together and you got a Big Ten team, an elite Big Ten team.
2 more questions, Dave, and then Audrey. And then 1 more in the back. 3, and that's it.
You said 2.
I lied. I lied.
Pitt, when Tony gets that play there at the end of the first half, the arena kind of erupted. It kind of got the feeling that something special was happening here. Could you sense that kind of in that moment? Gets the ball above 2 guys, turns into a 3-point.
Yeah, we're finishing halves well. We finished the half really well at Illinois. I think that really helped us in the second half. We finished this half on a really high note, which was huge. You know, I felt it before the game. You know, our guys were dialed in. We had an unbelievable practice yesterday. And just to get it, I actually sat there and I was watching a little bit of Ohio State, but I really watched the students. It was great to see that section to capacity. It was great to see the section behind the backboard to capacity. That's what got me excited, like something special is happening. But we got to keep that going. We can't let that get to us.
Pat, you kind of, right here. Hi. You kind of touched on Julian a little bit, but what's it like to have Shep come out and play well in a game like this as a senior?
Shep's been playing well. He's over 40% from 3. But what I would say about Shep is his leadership and his defense have been on point. I mean, C.J. Jackson's a very good player. He's having a career year for himself. I thought Shep did a really good job on him. Again, it's 5 guys against the ball, but I think Shep really stepping up as that senior leader that we needed.
Hey, Coach, with 2 more games coming up, top 25 games, is there anything that you could see from the floor without looking at tape tonight that you want the team to sort of work on or take into account, whether it be like on the floor, mentally or emotionally? Something
No,
like that?
you know, my phrase was mental conditioning all year, mental toughness, and we're going to need that Sunday night. You know, you got to come back. We'll go light tomorrow, but we got to go back and go hard again Saturday. We can't take anything for granted. Maybe free throws. Maybe work on our free throws. But again, these guys are dialed in, and we got to keep getting better. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thank you.